안녕하세요. 안녕하세요 여러분. 저는 베니스입니다. 여러분 잘 지냈어요? Today's video is going to be about sentence structure. I actually got a question about this ages ago and I just kind of forgot about it, but now I remembered about it, hence why I'm making this video right now. And someone asked me if I have any tips on making a sentence in Korean and how I am able to make sentences. So my first and pretty much main tip is don't focus on the words, if that makes sense. The way I remember sentences is I more or less remember what was said and sort of change a few words. If someone says 저는 핸드폰 없어요, I don't have a mobile phone, then I don't really remember individual words. I more or less remember the phrase. So I remember all of these words as one, and then I know that in Korean it's SOV structure. So by that it means subject object verb structure. In English it would be subject verb object, which for example could be, with the sentence I don't have a phone, it would be subject I don't have, it's like the verb not to have, and then 핸드폰, mobile phone. In Korean it's SOV, so subject object verb, so it's I have a 핸드폰 or mobile phone don't have. So that's, I sort of remember it in its SOV structure. So it's easier to change the object and sort of play around with the particles rather than it is to take the verb and sort of conjugate it. I remember I don't have a phone now in present tense, 저는 핸드폰 없어요, and then I take the 핸드폰 if it's not applicable to what I'm trying to say, and then I change it to 저는 신발은 없어요. So 신발 is shoe, and I played with the participle and I used the topic marking participle 은, and then because 신발 ends in the liot, and I used the particle that comes after the consonant, so 은, 저는 신발은 없어요. So I remember the template rather than remembering the words, and I just changed the object to where it fits what I want to say. Another tip could be focus on where you hear the word placed. So if you watch like a drama or like variety shows or whatever, and then you constantly hear Heyo at the end of the sentences, then like sort of keep that in mind, that's where the sentences is placed. It could be kind of hard to use this tip because, you know, sometimes people speak really fast and it's easy just to sort of miss it, and or they add like sentences around Heyo and you might be like, I didn't really hear it at the beginning, but could be like it was a sentence but they just added on more about it. So it's pretty tricky to keep that tip, but sort of keep in mind with the simple sentences where you hear the words, and it could indicate what kind of word it is. So if you usually hear the word in the middle, then it could be the object, and then if you usually hear the word at the end, it was the verb. Another thing is people want to expand their sentences and they keep on either adding in the same things that they've already talked about. Making an extended sentences is really easy as long as you know the few words that could really make your sentences longer. The words are basically connectives, and so however, therefore, for example, if I wanted to say, you could say 타이완 시디를 원하지만, so the 지만 comes from 하지만, which means however or but. So I wanted 21 CD, but So 21시즈를 원하지만, then it leads on to the next sentence. 돈 없어. So comes from 그래서, which means like therefore. 사지 않았어요. I didn't buy it. So from the beginning it would be 21시즈를 원하지만 돈 없어서 제가 사지 않았어요. So the whole sentence is basically I wanted a 21 CD, but I had no money, so I didn't buy it. So putting the connectives, you've just got one long sentence which makes it look like you know how the sentence structure works, but you could only memorize templates for each thing you want to say, and then just use the connectives, and then you've got yourself a good sentence that makes sense. And it really helps with you not repeating yourself. So I could have said I wanted a 21 CD. I had no money to buy a 21 CD, so I did not buy the 21 CD. If these tips don't really work for you, then you're gonna pretty much have to remember the SOV structure, subject, object, verb. So when you're learning these words, you have to really note down where or what they're placed under, whether it's the verbs, objects or subjects, or adjectives or whatever like that. And you're gonna have to pretty much try your hardest on conjugation. Conjugation was not hard, but yeah, it wasn't the best thing. It was kind of a drag. You're gonna have to remember the original words or verb stems. 먹다 and to eat. 읽다, to read. 일다, to work. 요리하다, to cook. And then you're gonna have to learn to conjugate all of them. So it's like a lot more thinking space or memory space, which I just don't have. I know I'm like not the best person to ask, but that's honestly how I make my sentences. Basically just practice and watch lots of variety shows and dramas. Just, you know, find something that really suits you, and good luck. I hope I've helped some way. If you have a way of forming sentences in Korean, or even any language, it could be implied or used in Korean, so just put it in comments below, and maybe someone will come and see if what I said didn't really help, and maybe what you said could really help a lot. So let's help each other, shall we? I guess that's the end of this video. So 안녕.